Yellow. How's everybody doing? Hope you're good. It's Saturday, and thank you for watching this video. I haven't made one in a bit, and terrible quality though they may be. I just wanted to kind of hop on YouTube and remind people of how far we have come in such a short time. Our country was on the verge of collapse, and everyone was hiding that fact very expertly for as long as we could. And it was painful and hard to watch everyone lie and cover up the fact that so many people couldn't feed themselves, so many people were hungry, they didn't have jobs, they didn't have cars, they didn't have any way to benefit their lives or improve it. And along came President Trump, and you might like him, you might dislike him, you might think he's the best thing ever, and rightly so, because if like Ben Shapiro says, if you are older than yesterday, you will remember how hard life was when we had Obama as our president. It was terrible, fucking terrible. And right now, the worst thing that the left is throwing at us is trying to force us to wear masks. Just a disclaimer, you just have to say that you can't wear one. If you have a medical disability or a medical concern, per HIPAA guidelines, no one is allowed to ask you what your issue is, your condition is. You just say that you can't wear a mask, and that's it. That's the end of the story. If someone pushes, nobody wants to get fucking ruined on the internet. Like, no one does. So stand up, stand tall, and if you don't want to wear a mask or you don't feel like you have to, which most reasonable people are in that fucking school of thought, be prepared to have a little bit of pushback. Nothing in life that's worth having comes easily. And your freedom is one of those things that we have fought so hard for, and something that the liberals want to have for themselves. They want to tell you what to do, when to do it, and why you're going to do it. It's worked with their base for a long time, and only in the last 5 years, maybe in 10 years, or the last 10 years, there was some of it, but not as much. They had a stranglehold on youth and youth culture, and we've been changing things up. I just want everyone to think about the positive things that we can build together, and think about what you want your life to look like. California is such a beautiful fucking place with such amazing people, and like any good place, it gets overrun with fucking tourists and assholes. So it's up to us to try to make it as livable as we can. And the best way to do that is to just talk about the issues that are going on in your community. If your roads need to be paved, talk to your friends about that. If the streetlights haven't been replaced, talk about that. Like, your community matters, and your opinion matters. Your decision making power is amongst the most sought after in the world. People try to influence Americans to do things to see if they can get, their smaller populations to do it. So there's a lot more riding on this than I think anyone realizes. I am going through a lot of things in my own life, and I am not perfect. Nobody is, but that doesn't discount what I'm saying or change the fact that what I'm saying is true. That wearing a mask has not been proven to do anything for anyone other than make it look like you have a dick on your face, and minimize oxygen flow to your brain, which over time, most people have been wearing, most of the fucking hardcore SJWs have been wearing masks for like 6 months now. No wonder they're having a hard time, thinking straight, because they're breathing their own, bad breath all day. It's just terrible. There's not a lot of girls that do commentary on the internet. I'm hoping to get to a point where I can do some more insightful videos talking about current events. I have all of the most recent stuff on my LO page, as you might know. And there's a lot of people that are, swinging back really hard against the left. And I think that this is the death rattle of the Democratic Party. They know that they're not going to get reelected unless people are fucking brain dead. And this is their last little power grab. So I'm going down a dirt road right now. So sorry for the noise, but please believe in yourselves, and your potential and your ability to affect change. Because when I was friends with the left, they were very scared of me, and because I was a girl. The left bullies guys, recklessly bullies men, and women can kind of get a pass. And if you are a woman, you are in a very unique position to be able to run your mouth and say things that a man might get popped for. So I encourage all of the girls out there who think that this shit is fucking crazy for whatever reason, whatever your issue is. Mine is, abortion being a travesty, and that's one of the main things that the Democrat Party stands for. So whatever your issue is, whatever makes you want to be a Republican, less regulation, free markets, insert your reason here. But if you're a girl, please feel inclined to speak openly with anyone that you can about any of these topics, because guys can't do all the work, and they shouldn't have to. So with all that being said, I'm just hopeful that everyone is registering to vote and prepared to go to their polling place. For every other thing that's happened, when I was a little kid, everyone was talking about AIDS, and then we had the hantavirus. We've had all these crazy, lethal diseases, and everyone ended up voting anyway. So before, when we were voting between two puppet, nominees, of course they wouldn't cancel the vote because they wanted to get one of their little stool pigeons in power. Because like we saw with Obama made some decisions, sure, but he wasn't this, this brilliant dictator that everyone wants to paint him as. It was everyone that he had working for him, like Susan Rice and his fucking AG, being his boy, and Joe Biden, of course. He had a lot of very sinister people doing the footwork, and with our president, we know that's not the case. President Trump isn't like that. And don't take my word for it. Look at his speeches, look at his policies, look at the communities that he's impacted, which have historically been ignored by Democrats. And think about this. Think about if your life has gotten better, setting COVID aside, if your life has been better, you have every reason to fight for President Trump, because I don't know if any of us would be in a position to be doing what we're doing now if we hadn't been given our freedom back. You don't always get your freedom back for free. Sometimes you have to take it. And I think right now we're in a position, if you live in a Democrat-dominated area, where you really do have to forcefully assert yourself. So these people don't give you fucking a hard time. A lady just gave me shit for not wearing a mask in Rite Aid. I said I can't wear a mask. She's like, you probably shouldn't be outside. And that's the dumbest thing about people. You don't know why someone isn't wearing a mask. You don't know if they have a health condition. You don't know shit about them. So if they're not wearing a mask and you're a fucking pleb and they're not. And so don't worry about it. When I see people not wearing masks or wearing masks, I did just flip a couple people off for wearing masks in their car earlier because, you're retarded. You're in your car by yourself. What does that say of your opinion of yourself? I don't know. So, all that aside, fuck the Democrats. Liberalism is a mental disease, and don't let anybody tell you what to do. Even me. Go think about these things. Go look these things up. Go hear what other people have to say on the subject, and never give up.